All right, here we go. Live stream 11:30 Mountain Standard Time. Sunday, the aftermath of Evo. I want to welcome everyone that's coming in. I appreciate it. Whether you're here live or catching up on the post watch, whatever it's called, the archive, the after watch. If you're new, please subscribe. We're on our way to 4,000. And if you're not, or you're already subscribed, go ahead and hit that like button, because we love a good like around here. We appreciate the like. Stone Capybara, that Revoltech Spidey is so fun. Best Spidey accessories of all time. Mark. Chill. Sorry, I don't think I'm doing that right, but Stone gets what I'm doing there. Yo, what up, Little Blade? What's going on? We got Stoned here. We got Keaton here. 6:30 over in the UK. We got Angel. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back from Evo. We were at Evo, folks. We were there. We covered it. We covered it all. I was there, but not there. Right? I was there. Richie Figs was there. I was not there. But we got all the coverage. We're going to talk about it. What did we think? What was it about? And were we excited? Was this Super Bowl? This felt anything but a Super Bowl to me, but we'll talk about that. I got to find the right pictures. I'm a little disorganized. I apologize. We'll just go. No, we can't go with that one. Not that one. Let's go with that one. We'll go with the Storm slideshow. Go right over here. Let's catch up. We've got Angel. We said hi. We got Kawhi. What's going on, Kawhi? Street Fighter 6 still going strong. What do you mean? They didn't show anything new there with Street Fighter 6. We already had seen everything. But yeah, so let's talk at Evo 2026. Viva Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas, baby.
Elvis. Some people appreciated it. Others didn't. Let's talk about it. What did we think? Still waiting on Hanayama in the UK. That's crazy. That figure came out forever ago. Great figure, Stoned. Worth the wait. Sagat fully painted, though. I mean, is that impressive? 470? Is that what... I mean, how long do you think that took to paint Sagat? A week, maybe? That's not that crazy. For 2 months since the last time we seen it. All right, let's break it down. What were we talking about today? For those that are just coming in, we've got on agenda, we're going to be talking Evo Storm 2026. And then also, we are going to be talking Revoltech drama. We get into the big debate. Is it wrong to buy fakes? Are you a collector if you're buying bootleg? Should you buy the real thing? Whose fault is it? The company's? Ours? A little bit of both? We're going to talk about it all. We're going to start over at Evo, though. And we saw it, didn't we? I don't know if I want to go. I don't want these all going thing. Hold on one sec. Let me talk some English here real quick. Let's start with this one right here. We've got a big boy. And there was some confusion in the video. I'm going to apologize for that. Let me get this resized real quick. Jax. Here. You can open it. Hold on. There you go. Alright, I wish I had Balrog had gloss gloves. That's not... Stone, that's not even... Why would you want gloss gloves? Is that how boxing gloves are? No. That's not how boxing gloves are. Since when do we have gloss boxing gloves? They're a matte sheen, and you know that. We can't all live in your fantasy world of gloss gloves. Okay? So let's get real here for a second. Zangief looks to be finished. Guys, I have a hot take. And I don't know that you guys can handle it. Turn camera on now. Black Void, I hate doing the camera. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so lazy with that shit. It's so annoying. I'll do it when I do interviews and stuff like that, but when it's just me, I'm just going to be doing no cam because it was so annoying to turn it on. Hi, Big C Richie. What's going on, a.k.a. Jax the Man? Boxing can be glossed? It can't be glossed. That's never been glossed. It never will be glossed. All right? You take that shit to amateur league. You show up to a boxing arena with gloss gloves, you're going to get laughed out of the arena, okay? This isn't little pee-wee boxing, folks. It's matte gloves. This isn't disco night at the boxing arena. So get off it. There ain't nothing. Just kidding. There probably is gloss gloves, but I've never seen them. It sounds stupid, all right? I don't want gloss gloves. They look great. Look at that right there. You can see them in the bottom right. They look great the way they are. They've got a nice gloss of natural sunlight bouncing off them anyways. I'm confused. They had poster of yellow Ken and purple Ryu, but none for sale. That's promotional picture, Kawhi. They can really put anything they want up there. We got Darth Gutierrez. Darth. What's going on, dude? We got Cool Guy. What's going on? Bro said boxing gloves can't be gloss finished. They can't and they never will be, Stoned. Keep dreaming, though. Okay? Guys, I got a hot take for you on this Balrog Zangief situation. I think these are finished. I'm not going to lie. I think they're done. I think if they wanted to put these out in production and get them out this year, I think they could. But here comes the hot take. I don't think they're far enough along with their next year's figures in Cammy and Armika that they would have anything to put out for the start of the year. These are finished. These have been finished. But they can't put them out because they're not far enough along on Cammy and Armika to where if they get these guys out this year, then we don't see Armika and Cammy until at best late next year. These are finished, folks. There's nothing else that needs to be done on these. These are done. They could put these into production today and have these out by Q4. But I don't think they're done with the others, and so they got to hold off and wait, and we see these early Q1 of next year, maybe Q2, maybe. That's the hot take. I'm not slow as Stoned. You are. How about that? Musashi is finished. Musashi is finished. Definitely we'll see pre-order at the end of the year for these two. No, faster than that. We'll see it by the end of Q3. You can book it. Let's see. Yushiro Hanma is finished too. Yuichiro Hanma is finished too. Where did they get these face sculpts from Geef and Balrog? I've never seen these faces. They're in Alpha 3. You just gotta look close. They're there. Oh, and then there was another great interview with Image Anime that absolutely talked about nothing and gave nothing, no information. I'm done watching Image Anime interviews. They are absolutely the worst. They don't answer questions. They're asking questions we don't ask. Nothing. I got absolutely zero. Nothing from the Image Anime interviews. They couldn't have been worse. My God. Just saying. I'm never watching an Image Anime, air quotes, Image Anime. Because I don't think that, whatever. They're the worst interviews of all time and answer no questions and give us no information on any of the product whatsoever. So I'm done watching Image Anime interviews forever. But should you want to know what D Amazing wants as a next figure, then that might be a good interview to watch. What's the rise of the new YouTubers shilling and sucking off JP fans? Anyone notice that? Hey, I'm sponsored by JP fans. You shut it up, Stoned. We love JP fans over here, okay? It's because they're shilling out the dough. What do you think? Come on, Stoned. Get real. It's called money, Stoned. Usually gives a good opinion when you throw somebody a few shekels, huh? Don't think they restock Yellow Ken or Purple Ryu. No, guys, they do not restock exclusives. Hence the word exclusive, meaning it's only available at that particular event. Finally, the 3 King of Fighter figures will be released. Come on, Stoned. You know we like it over here. No way. Look up Balrog's art. He never had this face. He had more name, face, even Angle had goofy faces. Nah, he had this face. I seen this face. Talk about something more useless than interviewing people in the storm booth. They never say anything interesting. They never. First of all, you got to ask the right questions, right? They didn't talk about nothing other than what was there at the event, and it was mostly Baki stuff. And, God, I guess Storm is all in on Baki. And can I say why? How are we all in on Baki? Guys, I get that there's a fandom for it, but it can't be great. It can't be. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the views. I'm looking at the sales on Big Bad Toy Store. It can't be doing that great. It just can't. Baki fans, all 7 of you that are out there that are buying Storm Arena figures, tell me how you're going to go all in Baki, but we haven't gotten one exclusive yet. Oh, Keaton 89. Keaton with the big 5 pounds. Say what you want. Thank you, Keaton. I appreciate that, sir. Image Anime didn't even say when their exclusive will be online. That's what I'm saying. Do not watch that dumbass Image Anime interview. It is terrible, and it doesn't ask anything. You don't get any information other than we found out that Dan's coming with the crying face that everybody already knew. We don't know when they're going online. If they're going online, I assume they are. Thank you again, Keaton. They don't talk anything about where the King of Fighter figures are. They don't talk about nothing. Zero, niche, nada. You get no new information about anything on the Image Anime interview. Zero, nothing. Waste of time. Bro forgets Japan exists. Oh, are they buying all the figures stoned? Huh. Well, I'm looking at the sales over here. I don't take world stock, Stone. Why do you keep thinking I'm watching the world? I don't watch the world. I watch where I'm at. I'm not counting China sales. I don't live in China. Okay, maybe it's selling out over there. I don't know. Is it selling out in the UK? Let me know. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm speaking for the American consumer when I say that, Stoned. Because I guarantee most Americans bought that orange short Sagat. I don't even know if anybody in China owns one. I think all the Americans bought up all 200 of that Sagat. I'm not even going to lie. I used to talk to Image Anime manager when he had a physical store here in NYC. That man is all business. He's about that and not much else. You're close to him. Colt Kid, you did? Oh, that's pretty cool. Baki characters aren't easy to make exclusive of unless they're battle damage or based off a really specific moment. Cool guy. Yes, they are. It's called Bloody Variants. Jada's already doing one. How about Shirtless Yujiro? Because they painted on the shirt anyways. How about just reproducing the Yujiro figure without a shirt and call it Shirtless Yujiro? How about Baki with a shirt? Baki with pants. Baki with blood. Anything. Change the color of his shorts. I don't give a shit. Make it an exclusive. I'd rather listen to someone asking June for the 1000th time about the Dreamline. Oh, that wasn't without that question. He'd be amazing if you could have any character made. What would you want made? Wow, real riveting journalism. I'm telling you, man, these guys don't know how to interview. Nobody knows how to interview in the toy community. No one knows. Stoned, you don't have to shut up. Without you, we don't have much in here. I'm just saying. Hey, if you could have any property in the world, what would it be? Oh, cool. You already have the property that you would want? Okay, cool. I'm telling you, man. But the thing is, nobody wants to ask. The only person I've actually seen, and I know he's a controversial figure in the community for good and bad, is Shartimus Prime. I've seen Shartimus Prime ask the tough questions to Hasbro. I've seen that. I've seen it. He asked the tough questions, and maybe it gets them maybe it gets them dancing in their pants a little bit because they don't know the answer. But I don't know. I don't even know that you're talking to someone that knows anything about the information, anyways. I made my dad watch Baki and he found it boring. I found it boring. I didn't watch it either. I don't care for their outfits too either. I mean, how am I supposed to have Pickle, a dude in a man thong, on my shelf? How am I supposed to explain that? Huh? It's a bunch of dudes. Then you got the old man with the eye patch and the leopard thong. How am I supposed to explain that one on the shelf? Huh? It's just a bunch of dudes in their underwear. More skimpy than Zangief. How am I supposed to explain that? I just have a bunch of oiled up naked dudes on my shelf in G-strings. What are we doing? How am I supposed to keep that up there? I don't know what we're doing with the Baki line. Can't be having it. I already have enough shirtless dudes on my shelf. I can't have them now in little black G-strings. That's where I draw the line there. We're out on that one. Baki is pretty gay? I didn't say it. Animal print G-strings is a staple in Baki. And then someone told me that, like, Jack's final move is he, like, makes out with the person. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know. But here is Balrog. Let's get back on task. We're burying the lead. I thought we were going to get some information out of the interview. We got 0-0. So here we are, still in the same spot that we were, with no new information from Storm. So it is what it is. When Jack and Pickle had a bite off? All right. Just listen to what you just said. Jack and Pickle, crazy names to begin with, had a bite off. All right. Well, I think we're good there. Jack is a beast for real? Yeah. What's my dream line? What's my dream line? I mean, I am not going to lie. I do think Storm Collectibles, even before Storm Arena came around, was my favorite action figures. If I could have them, I think if Storm Arena could get Mortal Kombat, I think that would be a fire. Because they've already pretty much made a lot of the characters. There's a couple characters I still want them to make, like Guile in Storm Arena form, and like, who else would I want? I think Dhalsim in Storm Arena would be fire, and a Vega would be fire, but I really would want Storm Arena. I think they would knock out Mortal Kombat fire. Yeah, Stone, I bet. He's like, what the hell are you having me watch? Biscuit Oliver, such a welcome surprise for this event. Is he going to sell, though, 470? Is he going to sell? I don't know. Pardon my French, but that interview was straight hot garbage. Opportunities were definitely missed when asking legit questions. They didn't even ask questions. They didn't even ask when the exclusives were going live on the website. Nothing. There's a nothing burger. 0 for 2 on Image Anime interviews. Nothing burgers. Serving them up hot and fresh. Nothing. There was nothing. I got nothing out of it. Hasbro should do Mortal Kombat. They're too big. They're too of a big box. You need a smaller company that can do blood-soaked variants. How are you going to do Hasbro when they can't put blood on their figures? We're talking Mortal Kombat. Fatality. Come on. We need Storm. Storm can do the blood. Hasbro cannot. I love Storm, always had, but they are very secretive in a way and very low-key as well. That's fair. I mean, that's fair. Shout out to Storm Collector. I really enjoy his Instagram. Make sure you go check him out. I love Storm. I know I give him grief, but it's all in love. Like, it's not because I don't love him. I love him, and I want him so frequently, but that's why. Shinakuma, what's up, man? Storm Arena would be good to do that Ragnarok anime on Netflix. Ragnarok. I'm not familiar. I'll have to take a look. And The Amazing gets free figures from them and sometimes hang out with Storm. So basically, they can't get any info from him because he does not want to lose those privileges. Exactly. But you would think that as a representative or someone that talks to him, he wasn't even talking about Storm. He was representing Image Anime. You can't tell us when the Image Anime exclusives are going live on their website? You're not even going to promote the exclusives that are going live on their website? Hello? I don't know. Hasbro did a bloody Spider-Man? I guess. That was very mild, Kawhi. We're talking Mortal Kombat, where spines get ripped out, heads get chopped off, limbs go flying. We're not talking a little dab of blood next to his mouth, okay? We're talking fatality. Fatality. Flawless victory. Come on, Kawhi. Hasbro cannot do a flawless victory. They can't put that on the shelf at Target. Biscuit is going to sell because he's probably the third most well-known character in Baki. Well, you know what, Black Void? I would like to think what you're saying is accurate, right? Would love to see that. But let's get on over here to Big Bad Toy Store, your official retail distributor of Storm Arena. And, oh, look at that. Jack, not sold out. Oh, look, you can buy Baki right now, not sold out. Oh, look, you can buy Yanohama, not sold out. This is sold out. Why does it say Storm Collectible? Okay, hey, breaking news here on the telecast, folks. Yujiro has officially sold out. Let's give it up for Storm Arena, folks. They got their first Baki licensed property to sell out. Baki or Yujiro is sold out. All right, there we go. That's the first one. I like it. I dig it. I don't know. I think that's good, though. I don't know. I don't know how well it's selling. I don't. I'd like to know more. See, look, why can't we get this as an... You're telling me if this was made in arena form, minus the soft goods, just like this, you're telling me this wouldn't sell? Come on. Especially with that head sculpt, seeing most people didn't even like the Baki head sculpts that he came with. You telling me this wouldn't sell? Come on, folks. That's a no-brainer. That is a no-brainer. That would sell as an exclusive. I'd buy it, and I don't even like the Baki line. And then look at Yujiro. His shirt is painted on. Just unpaint it, and you've got a shirtless Yujiro exclusive. So, yeah. Alright, anyways. Hasbro would shit the bed making MK figures. They'd never get it. Never. The board would not let him even make it. I don't even think he knows. I think The Amazing was there to hype since he's become kind of like a known personality in the figures world. He's used to work for Image back in the... Then he said, yeah, that's the only thing that I got from that Image Anime interview is that The Amazing used to work for Image Anime. That was it. I find it criminal we still are not getting Dopo Orochi in Arena yet. That could be a lot of other things outside of Storm not being able to make it. That could be a licensing or a licensee not wanting that scale made, or who knows. Yujiro needs a new figure with the correct height. Yes. Stone. Damien Talks Toys in the building. He sold out. He did, Big Sirichi. He did. Now, he did say he has to fly to Hong Kong for the next convention. Is Storm going to be there, or is that for a different convention? I was interested in that, and the interviewer at least asked, what's the next convention? And he said, in Hong Kong, but he didn't actually say what it was. So I don't know if that was for Storm or what that was for. Soon, maybe he's talking about the ACHGHK or whatever, but that is the end of July almost. Guaranteed new Storm Arena exhibit for that event. Yeah. And the thing is I saw some false information going around. I saw pictures of Cammy and I saw old pictures of Akuma resurfacing and like claiming that they were at Evo. That Cammy was not at Evo. So I don't know where that image, that was an old picture of Cammy. She was not at Evo. And then I saw this old rendition of Akuma. That was not at Evo either. Akuma's there, but it wasn't that version. That was like the first Akuma we ever saw. B and the manager are tight. Wait, Colt, you know the manager? Why was Jack Hanma not at Evo? I asked that very question. Why isn't he there? I asked it. I said, hey, where is he? Why is your next figure in Baki not at your event? That concerns me. All right, and here comes Miss Controversy, Chun-Li. I do think the shoulders still look weird, but whatever. I'm sure they're not even done with her yet. I guarantee we probably don't even end up seeing her this year. So, she does look better, at least in the head. Her thighs are thicker because everybody wanted her to have thicker thighs, you sickos. And then her arms could look better, but whatever. I don't even care anymore. I'm losing my steam. What about NECA doing Mortal Kombat? Anyone willing to pay 40 plus tax per figure? Of course. Kawaii, people spend over $100 on Storm Arena exclusives. Of course people would pay $40 plus per figure. If Storm Arena went to $50, I'm pretty sure everybody would still pay it. Morgan and Felicia in pending approval hell? I guess. I don't know why they keep showing them off still. It gets annoying. Jack Hanma was busy that day. He was. Shame he didn't ask it in the interview. The interview, it wasn't much an interview. It was more a glazing of Storm Arena being at Image Anime. I Google up in the next big event there for games and anime stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I know D Amazing personally and used to hang out at Image Anime at both former locations. We're all big Kamen Raider fans. Oh, nice. That's dope. Do I think we'll get Chun-Li next year? I do think she comes next year. Because they still have to put her in tooling. If they're still working on her, this would have to be the final production. If they're going to get her out. Guys, you got to remember that this puppy right here. Look at. If they're still working on her, this thing says third quarter. So, that's not happening because third quarter starts in a couple of days. There's no way we're getting her in third quarter. And if they're not done fixing her, then we probably don't see her in fourth quarter either. No joke, The Amazing seems super, super cool. Me and him got into like a little tiffle over the scaling of the Baki line. But, you know, it is what it is. Don't be concerned about Jack not being there. Storm does that. Look at their patterns. They always pick and choose what they send to conventions. Doesn't mean anything else. Storm Collector, I would agree. But it's your next character up for pre-order. They're showing Akuma off the wazoo. Literally, Jack is up for pre-order right now. He's your next seller. What terrible marketing on the Storm side if they don't have Jack there. I get Cammy not being there. That at least makes sense. Save something for the next convention. That makes sense to me. Jack not being there, he's already up for pre-order. He's your next guy coming out. You gotta promote him. This is not the one that you have popping in and out of conventions. You need him out there. I know what they're doing. I know they like to save stuff, but it's like, Jack is your neck. When is Jack due out? Isn't he due out this year? Why are you not promoting the shit out of Jack Hanma? What? Where is he? Yeah, he's due out Q4. That's in a couple of months. How is he not at your event? I gotta fix that. We'll just do it bigger so you guys can see it. I don't even care. How is he not at your event? That's bad marketing. Don't at me, people, but I think the Jada prototype nailed the likeness of Alpha Chun-Li. Those looks like the whack art they had on Street Fighter Alpha 3. Colt, that wasn't even, that was a first rendition. Ryu, Charlie, and Chun-Li are going to look completely different come San Diego Comic-Con. Storm barely promotes. That's the nice thing about Storm, is they don't really need to promote. The figures sell themselves. But it's like, come on, get Jack out there. He's your next figure. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. When he's due in fourth quarter, you gotta have him out there. Yujiro and Baki is sold out on BBTS, but you said they aren't selling. Stone, don't get it. Look at Stone trying to come in and act like it. Oh, really? Huh? Take a look at that, Stone. Why don't you take a look at this? Huh? Oh, weird. Isn't that weird? In stock. Stone, stay in school. Apparently you can't read that well. That says in stock. What's sold out? The only one that's sold out is Yujiro. You watch your mouth. Don't come in here slanging like you know. You don't know. He's still in stock. You can buy him right now if you want to. How many can I buy? Let's see. How many can I buy? I can buy 4 right now if I want to. How many can I buy? I can buy 24 right now if I want to. Get out of here with your sold outs. Yujiro is sold out. We already said that. We already talked about that. Sold out. We talked about that already. I said congratulations. They already have one sold out. Chun-Li looks cool. Face meh. But body good. Morgan perfect. King of Fighters no longer pending approval. Yeah, I did see that. I think we see King of Fighters somewhere in the third quarter. You're a lame, bro. Stone, get the hell out of here. You have a pixelated capybara as a profile picture. Alright? Before you ever call anyone a lame, make sure you go check your profile picture real quick. Huh? Why don't you do that? Baki Army Building. That's what I'm talking about. Let's take a look what else we got. Here we go. Everyone's favorite, the Baki line. Now, I did think it was cool that this guy has a peg leg. I was kind of into that. This guy on the left, I actually am kind of down with. Pickle, I don't know, man. He's got the black Speedo. Just a little. I like the shading. I love the shading. Beautiful shading. And I didn't know this guy on the left had a peg leg. That's kind of cool. I'm into pirates right now. I'm not lying. I said it doesn't appear they're selling that well. I have never said they are not selling that well. I said they appear to not be selling that well. They appear. They appear not to be. How is your main character not selling out, Stoned? If it's selling so well, how is Baki not sold out 3-4 months ago? That figure's been out for a year and a half. How is it not? How is your main character not sold out? Huh? You explain it to me then. You explain it to me. The main character of the show is actually named after him, in fact, is not sold out. You explain that one to me. You go ahead. You tell me. You go ahead and explain it to me. These are third stick of Baki? What do you mean? Must gets. Retsu still the GOAT. Peg Leg should fight one arm. Hey, I'm not in on Baki. If you guys like Baki, I have all the Baki figures. I do. I even have Yanohama. And I'm going to get Jack. But I think Jack might be where I hop off. I think Jack might be the swan song for my collecting. $20,000 pieces? Nah, that seems like a lot. I don't feel like Storm has ever made 20 pieces of it. 20,000 pieces of anything. I feel like their runs are pretty small, like 5,000, 3,000. 20,000's crazy. That would be like big box stores. That would be like I'm shipping my shit out to multiple Targets. Hey, let's not forget whose stream we're in here. This is not, let's come in and talk shit on the streamer, right? Stoned? Rex, or not Rex, Colt? Come on, whose team are we on here? The original Storm Collectibles Baki did sell out. Well, there's a lot more that came with that figure. And they weren't scaled weird. They were scaled in line with all the rest of the Storm Collectible figures. They weren't made their own scaling. I've said this to this day. I think they would have sold out. And I think Baki would be sold out right now if he was scaled with the rest of the Storm Arena figures. I've said that. I said if they were scaled correctly from the get-go, that those figures would be sold out with Street Fighter. But they weren't. So I think the scaling hurt them in the beginning, and maybe some people haven't jumped back on since then. I'm calm. I'm great. I would buy a translucent purple Viasm Sagat. I would too. I'm shocked it hasn't come out yet, to be honest. That's what I've said that. I said I think the scaling initially threw people, put a bad taste in their mouth, and people didn't hop back on since the Yujiro. Or since Baki, whatever ones. But they're small. We need Dopo and Ritsu. I'm sure. And how do they not have an exclusive yet? I just don't get that. Biscuit does look good. I'm not gonna lie. I like his shading. The sculpt is great. It's just I don't know how I'm supposed to explain that guy on my shelf. Hey, who's that dude up there with the black G-string? Oh, that's a guy. That's Biscuit. Uh-huh. Yeah, he's in a show. And what show is that? Thunder from Down Under? No. It's called Baki Hanma. And they all look like that. Oh, it's a show about dudes fighting in G-strings? Uh-huh. That's the show. Okay. Whatever you say, Richie. I don't know how I'm supposed to explain that to anybody. That's the show. They do that. You need a Snickers, Rich. Also, Gooner time, Armika time. Colt, thank you for the $1.99, sir. You know, I'm just teasing with you guys. I can take it. I can take it. Let's talk about Armika. My God. This figure, Gooner figure of the year next year. My goodness. They just made him so round, you know? So round. It's crazy. But in my video, I said she wasn't articulated yet, which was false. I'm shocked she's still in grayscale. I feel like we're a little bit behind on her. I'm not a diva. I'm high maintenance. I'm a Pisces. I'm sensitive. You know this. Oh, God. We don't want biscuits, lady. Dear God, no. They nailed the sculpt on this thing. I mean, the chest is a little bit, I mean, they really emphasize the chest there. Really round, really perky. But I'm a little bit nervous on this one because she's coming right after. I don't know. I'm trying to picture, like, what we're supposed to see next year. If I had to guess, make her a deluxe, include her intro wrestling ring. That'd be dope. Around 8 to 9K to USA market. You think so, Storm Collector? I think that's high. Because they only have one US distributor. The rest of these guys, I don't know where they're getting them. They're not buying them from Storm. Storm has an exclusive contract with Big Bad Toy Store. You think they're getting 8 and 9? That seems really high. If I had to guess, it's between 3 and 5,000. 8 and 9 is what, I mean, that would be something that McFarlane sends out. Hasbro, Mattel. Of, like, their lesser-known lines. That seems high. I would think that there's no way they'd ever sell out. You think 9,000 people bought these? I don't know. That seems really high. Mika has no leg muscle detail. Well, she's still in production. Chun-Li, Akuma, Balrog, Cammy, then Armika. No, so if I had to guess Storm's Street Fighter Alpha 3 schedule, this is what I predict. That's why it's still in stock? No, I just don't think there's as many Baki fans as you guys seem to think there is. And the scaling hurt. Once the word got out that the scaling was bad on those Baki figures, yeah. Yacob! Whoa! $9.99 through the super chat. No comment, just a $9.99er. My God, Yacob, thank you so much, sir. I don't even know what that was about. He just said, hey, $9.99, why not? You're the man. Thank you, Stoned. Shout out Yacob. I need to get a donator display up here. Don't worry, next stream I'm gonna have, I could probably put it up now. Does it let me do that? It's gotta let me do that. But let's talk about what would be the remaining schedule for tip goal, super chat goal, member goal, streamline. There's got to be a way to add that, right? Alert box, stream label, view count, event list. I'll figure it out. Next stream, we will have a donator list up there. A most recent donator list. But thank you so much, Jacob. I appreciate that, man. Factories also have a number required and licensors too. I do agree with that, but I think they have to, that's also, I mean, they negotiate that into the contract. They know Storm can't produce as high as a Hasbro Mattel, so they're not going to be held accountable for as many production units as a Mattel, Hasbro, McFarlane, etc. Even if Storm makes a lower run, I think they've been able to get away with it and make a ton of Street Fighter because of exclusives. It helps them sell more units of the same item just by repainting. Oh, factual. But that's also why their runs are so small. You'll notice each exclusive's only 5. The most they've ever had for an exclusive was 1,000, and that was P2 Sagat. The rest have been really small runs. So, I mean, if they're only doing exclusives to 1,000, 500, 200, I can't imagine that their mass production is much more. Like I said, 3 to 5,000, I think, is really all they put out per character. But here we go. So this is our Mika. She's not painted yet. I assume that she'll probably be painted come New York Comic Con. That's the next big Storm Arena event. that they should have where new things are shown off and things like that. I think Storm does have another event here in the US, but I don't think it'll really show much. New York Comic Con will be the big one with Image Anime, where they have more new stuff and everything like that. But this is, if I had to predict what was coming next from Street Fighter Alpha 3 from Storm Arena, it would go as following. The next figure to come out to me would be Akuma. I think he jumps Chun-Li. Then it'll be Chun-Li. Then it'll be Zangief or Balrog. You can really decide. Then it'll be, Zangief and Balrog. And then it'll be Armika, Cammy. And that'll be it. So, if you're wondering why we're not seeing any new characters for Street Fighter at these events, it's because they're too far out. They've put out the new characters so far out in advance that they can't announce any new characters because any new characters wouldn't be coming until 2028. So that's why we haven't seen any new characters for Street Fighter Alpha 3. But I do wonder, when are they going to start on the next game? Storm Arena has never stayed loyal to one Street Fighter game. I wouldn't be shocked if we start seeing them work on another Street Fighter game here shortly. No, New York Comic Con. Storm's not going to be at SDCC. Speculation about when that last Dirty Gi Ryu drops. Oh, maybe New York Comic Con. Maybe. Or it could hit Big Bad Toy Store. I just want to hibernate until Musashi releases. If I get that Musashi, I might take a pic of that fig at his shrine. That was a fun trip, but Jeebus, the spiders there are huge. More than that Yujiro for Arena, really? Storm is no longer at SDCC, sadly, but maybe someone will pick up and show up at SDCC. Maybe. They just haven't been there in a while. It's been a few years. I think it's been since early 20... I think 2019 was the last one they were at. Want to make a bet on the figure release? Which one, Colt? Stop with the Street Fighter 2 Storm Arena propaganda. I didn't say that, Black. I never said that. I said that's what I'd want them to work on next. But look at Storm's. You got to look at patterns, guys. Patterns. Storm has always worked on multiple Street Fighters at a time. They never just stick to one solely. They've worked on 5, 6, Ultra Street Fighter 2, all at the same time. Why is it that far-fetched that we get another new game introduced? They just introduced a new Baki with only 2 characters announced at the time for their current Baki. So why couldn't we get another Street Fighter? No painted. Not painted. I'm just waiting for the extra heads from Jada. Yeah, they look good. Darkstalker figures. Blink if you're being held hostage. Yeah, I know. Let's take a look at those. I don't think this figure hits until late next year, if it hits at all. I hate to say that, but I'm not even confident that this Armika figure comes out next year. I'd like to think it would, but I don't know. And then, of course, the infamous King of Fighters. No longer saying pending approval. They look good. They should be in our hands, but they're not. I don't know. Goro, I can't get into that. I don't know why I can't get into that Goro figure. He just doesn't look cool. He's got no aura, no swag. At least the blonde hair dude has some aura, has some swag. He's got the skinny jeans on. You can miss me on the crop top, but then you got the big buff dude with the open shirt in the back. I don't know the names, but I'm buying them. After Bandai went Bandai full and dropped non-Bandai. But if Storm starts a new line, I would be worried. Too many lines to work on. I mean, look at Jada. They're doing it. I hope scalpers will be nice with the exclusive Jada mark, and I'll go up to $70. I don't know. You really think there's guys? I don't think anybody is scalping your Street Fighter figures. Maybe on the Storm Arena stuff, but there is no money to be made in scalping action figures. I promise you. Nobody is making any money. As much as you guys like to think these things are being scalped, you're not making any money scalping action figures. You're making $5 or $10. And that's not worth scalping. People have moved on. This is not 2020. I don't think anybody's scalping anything. The figure is accurate. I mean, Goro doesn't look goofy. I just don't think he looks cool. Like, he doesn't have a cool character representation. I'm sure, like, he's goofy and it's accurate. I just don't think he looks cool. I don't know why. I can't get in. I don't know. I'm just not into it. The other two dudes look cool. I'm into that. Goro looks like an idiot, which is fine. I'm sure it's accurate. I just don't think he looks cool. There's characters that don't have cool lure. No, I have all the King of Fighter figures ordered, so I'm not getting them. I just don't think he's, like, super cool. Like, who's a character? Like, Fei Long. I don't think he's cool. He doesn't have anything cool going. He's a Bruce Lee ripoff. He doesn't have, like, a cool character. Like, he's not super cool. He's kind of boring looking. It's not that I don't think the figure looks good. The figure looks good. I just think the character itself is like, shirtless dude with gi pants. It's just meh. It's meh. Goro is and has always been boring. Yeah, he's just kind of a boring dude. It'd be cool if someone was giving us King of Fighter figures as a decent pace other than Joy Toy, but they're 1/18th. I mean, Storm will be moving at a decent pace here pretty quickly, I feel like, once they get things rolling. Fei Long is ripped as fuck. I mean, they're all ripped as hell. Like, Goro's ripped. Look at him. He's got 6-pack. They're all ripped. It's just they're kind of boring player model. It's like you don't want... I don't know. Goro's the only one that doesn't look like he stepped out of Christian new metal album cover. Facts. No, I like Fei Long. I just say he's not very visually stimulating. He doesn't have like a cool character model. Right? Like you look at Guile. He's got the American flag tattoo, the camo pants. You look at like Dalsim, he's got like the cool face paint, the skull necklace, you know, Blanca, like even Zangief, he's got the cool chest hair, which sounds sus as hell. He's got the mohawk, he's got the cool scars. Like Fei Long is just a dude in black track pants, and that's it, and shoes. So yeah. Is there any real Jada Street Fighter figure you have to work hard to get? I don't really think so. I love my Jada. Jada has that Kith figure. That's the only hard one to get. And it sold out fast. You'd have to watch him in action to actually love him. Yeah, I agree with that. I still play with Faye today. Whoa, Colt, you play with Faye? It's not like we have saturated market of Bruce Lee figs, so he checks most boxes and his cool accessories. I know, but if you saw Fei Long and a bunch of other characters on the shelf, you're probably not, like, going to buy that one immediately. You're like, oh, there's cool, that's Fei Long, he's cool, but... No, okay, whatever. I'm just saying he's not very cool looking. If you love Goro, love Goro. I just don't think he's that cool looking. Great figure, kind of boring. Let's talk about this guy. Storm Collectibles. We're moving on to SF6. You barely see one or two? Well, it's because it's an old-ass figure. That was one of the first figures they ever did. Fei Long never stayed on the pegs here in NYC very long. Jada figures don't stay on the pegs long anywhere. But Fei Long hasn't been on the shelves forever because he dropped like 3 years ago. Most figures that came out 3 years ago are not on the shelves currently. Scott looks great. Storm continuing with the soft goods. I don't know that I wanted soft good shorts. If you want to make that little fuzzy stuff soft goods, sure. I need accessories to be soft goods. You wanted to make that belt soft goods? I'm fine with that. I don't want the clothing to start being soft goods, or you're going to lose me. That's what I'm saying. I wish you would have done the fur, maybe, in soft goods, or the belt. I don't want his shorts being soft goods. This is like your custom Street Fighter V Sagat you got a couple years back. Yeah, I don't think they would have gotten the way if they were molded either way. Black Series is always on the pegs. Well, that's a different story. I'm still getting this, but I definitely don't know that. I'm not going to be super happy if they start making all the clothing soft goods. Ken and Ryu, Cammy, Ban, Chun-Li are holding the pegs. All the deluxe come and go. Wait, what do you mean? Soft goods, meh, but they've been incorporating it a lot. Capes for Bison and King of Fighter Dude. Pants for the Baki line, etc. Yeah, but that's all, like, removable accessories. Like, you don't want to remove Sagat shorts. I feel like if you're going to do soft goods, you make it an accessory. Like, Street Fighter 6 Ryu's sash. Or M. Bison's cape. Or Hobo Ken's hoodie. Or, you know... On this, I would have rather have gone soft fur on his little thing, because you're probably going to want to take that off. Just like that. Like, to me, I wouldn't have done the shorts. Yeah, Street Fighter 6 did like the sash thing. Soft good shorts, restrictions for the movement. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not skipping on that Sagat. I'm a Sagat collector. I gotta have him. Probably the only way for Tiger Knee. Maybe. I mean, he still looks great. It's not a deal breaker. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of soft goods clothing, per se. Make Sagat's head bigger? I think it just looks small because that thing he has on his chest, whatever, is that a vest? Is that, I don't know what that is. Whatever, it sits a little high, so it makes his head look smaller, I guess, but I think it looks good. You know what else looks really good is this Vega. My God. See, this is where I would go soft goods. The sash. Do the little accessory soft goods. This looks insane. Where's Sagat's tiger? They haven't shown any of the accessories with Sagat. He very well could get a tiger. Yo, Goji boy, what up? I think so too, Keaton. This thing looks insane. This might be the best Vega that's ever or will ever be done, to be honest. Gotta buy a third part. He might very well come with a tiger. We haven't seen any accessories that come with that Sagat. He could come with a tiger. Ooh, LPZZ Arkham Knight shipped. Nice. Seems like action figure companies have been using a lot of soft goods now. Really? Are you satisfied with the reveals, or do you think they were underwhelming? I was gonna save it, but on a grade on my report card for Evo 2026, I gave it a C-. I gave it a C-. Yeah, the soft plastic. Can't be too soft, though. If you make that claw soft plastic, it's going to droop. They have to make that a little bit firmer of a plastic. Vega's claw is too long. I think it looks dope. I'm into it. Yeah, I gave this event a C-. The only things we saw new were in Baki, which I don't have a lot of, like, stock in. If you're a big Baki fan, maybe your grading is higher than mine. And then we saw new Storm Collectibles stuff, which, you know, I like Storm Collectibles, but at this point I'm more invested in Arena. It was cool to see Sagat painted and Vega. Like, they look good. But as far as Storm Arena as a whole, there just wasn't anything new. So, but that's because they've put out their catalog too fast. And I've said that. I mean, they're already so far out. How are they supposed to announce anything new? Yeah, they can't make that claw soft goods or it's going to just droop. The plastic will droop. You're going to have to be careful posing that Vega around because I'm sure that claw could be fairly fragile. I don't know. I was shocked that they're going all in on Baki. I was a little bit shocked that they had came with so much new Baki. But hey, if they feel confident in it, that's all they need. They know the numbers. I don't know the numbers. Yeah, that's orange. I don't know if that looks orange to me. That's like a burnt red orange. At least on my screen. It's going to be very fragile. Talking about Sagat's pants? What do you mean? Oh. You were talking about Sagat's pants? I just don't know. I'm a little lost here. How they completed the Hana family before releasing Dopo? I don't know. It's a good question. Beautiful question. I'm still trying to find... Hold on, let me see if I can find... I need to... I don't have my phone. What? 20, 30? About what?
I guess like stuff hasn't been getting put in the recycling bin, and there's shit everywhere.
Where?
Cody, I tell you all the time. There's stuff that gets missed in the recycling bin all the time, and it's like I feel like I'm the only one who's cleaning when we're here, and then he comes and is like,
All right, sorry about that, guys. So, 1 second here. Here we go. Lilith. Here she is. She says, "Where am I?" I don't know. Where am I? Have you seen me? I haven't. These look the same. We've seen them 1,000 times. There she is. I don't know what else to say about these. They look good. They look the same every time I see them. And we don't have any news. They literally look the exact same every time. I think she looks great. I'm into it. But nobody knows. They're finished. These have got to be finished. I don't know what. Just don't know. Look at their toes. What about them? They're wearing boots. They don't have toes. Not sexy at all. I don't need sexy action figures. But yeah, so this was the last thing of Street Storm Arena that we saw. Again, at this point, it's just like a staple of their con stuff, but we don't ever get anything. Folks only like the ladies. I know. I'm with Richie. I'm sick of seeing these finished products. I mean, it's not that I'm sick of it. I like seeing them, but it's like I don't know what to do with this anymore. How many times can you show the same figures off and just have no pre-order for it? Like, we've literally seen Lilith and Morgan for like 2 years now, and just nothing. Zero. Jack was announced months after them, and he got a pre-order announced before them. They look great, just nothing. Nothing. So it is what it is with the Darkstalkers. There was a big Image Anime interview. Did they ask where they were? No. No, they didn't. Hey, what's going on with Darkstalkers? We keep seeing them at these events. Any update on where they're at? No questions asked. Nothing. Hey, any update? No. No, there's not. I know where they're at. Where are they at? All right. And last but not least, seems to be circulating the community right now. Revoltech Black Suit Spider-Man. Looks great. Mess Toys did it first. Here's the thing about bootlegs. They're not going anywhere. Bootlegs have been around as long as products have been made. I mean, I get it. I get it. You want to support the original, the creation. There is no mess toys without Revoltech, etc. But it's not stopping anybody from buying anything. At the end of the day, these companies charge way too much for their action figures, and they know it. And that's why people go to bootlegs. No, this is definitely a different interpretation. It definitely stylistically looks different than the mess toys, but I'm telling you, it's these companies that are getting greedy, and people are looking for alternative venues. They don't want to spend $100 on this. They'd rather spend 40 or 50 on mess. Now, is mess as good as this? No. Probably not quality-wise. It is a cheaper action figure, but I don't know. I don't feel like Shane... I mean, the only reason people buy bootlegs is because it's cheaper. And if it's of decent quality, then that's just the cherry on top. It really comes down to people just... I mean, I'm not saying... Hey, if you don't support bootlegs, that's fine. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying there's a reason why people do. Because the prices have gotten crazy. Companies know they can make them for cheaper. And so they are. And people would rather get something decent and cheap rather than quality for double the cost. So there's a big thing going on right now that I think Lethal Collector put out a review where he like smashed the mess toys box at the start of it, and then he was like, don't buy the bootleg or forget I don't know exactly what was said, but people were basically trashing the mess toys figure because of this one. And it's fair. I mean, mess toys is definitely a bootleg, its own thing. And it uses the Revoltech body, but it's like, Revoltech, your prices are high. Yeah, he still did buy the bootleg. And that other figure is technically kind of a bootleg that my alien dad uses parts from Mafex, and, they're not their own company. That wasn't their own thing. So it's like, don't buy the bootleg, buys the bootleg. I'm just saying, as far as my whole opinion on buying fake, buying real, it's kind of like they did that with shoes for a while. The prices got too high on shoes, so people started realizing that the replica shoes were looking as good as the originals, so people started buying fakes. If these companies charge too much and there's people that can do it almost as good but cheaper, people will go cheaper. That's just what it is. Doesn't mean it's right, but bootlegs aren't going anywhere. Rolex has bootlegs. Nike has bootlegs. Anything of product that has... NECA has bootlegs. Hasbro has bootlegs. They all have them. It's your money. Buy what you want. But I know there's a lot of people out there that, support the company. I get that. I'm for that too. I'm just saying, as long as there's something cheap out there that looks decent, people will buy it. They will. So, I don't really have a dog in this fight. I bought the Mess Toys Spider-Man. It's good. Does it have some QC issues? Definitely. But it still looks pretty good. I don't know. I think Revoltech has its own QC issues. But there are different interpretations of the Symbiote Spider-Man. This one's definitely got like a veinier, symbiotic look. The Mess Toys one is matte black. So, yeah. I think prices have really just kind of influenced people to go more bootleg. So, that's really what it is. People are looking for the cheaper option. And if it looks decent, then yeah, of course people are going to buy it. But guys, that is going to wrap up the stream. I don't like to go too long. Sometimes we get a little bit stale if we go too long. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the stream. If you did, leave the video a thumbs up. If you're watching on the Aftercast and haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so. I will see you guys on the next video. And that's all for the stream today. I'll see you on the next one. Richie Figs. Later.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom!